Welcome to Session 8, the final module of our MOOC Building Intercultural and Critical English Pedagogy. This is a special moment, because today, we step back, look at the entire journey we've taken together, and bring everything into a coherent, personal, and transformative teaching vision. This final session invites you not just to summarize, but to synthesize, to gather insights from each module and craft a philosophy that will guide your practice beyond this course. By the end of this session, you'll be able to integrate principles from the previous modules, articulate your own philosophy of critical and intercultural ELT, and shape a vision that is not only reflective but also actionable, something you can carry into your classroom, your community, and your professional growth. Let's begin by looking back before moving forward. Throughout this MOOC, we explored a series of interconnected themes. We examined criticality, understanding how language is never neutral, how it shapes and is shaped by culture, power, and identity. We discussed localization, grounding our pedagogy in the lived realities of our learners, from campung to classroom, from community stories to curriculum design. We explored intercultural communication, recognizing how identities are negotiated across cultural borders. We learned about decolonizing curriculum and materials, questioning dominant narratives and reclaiming space for local voices. And finally, we reimagined assessment as a practice of empowerment rather than judgment. These strands together form the foundation of your emerging teaching identity. Now, why does synthesis matter? As shown in the slide on page 4, synthesis goes beyond summarizing. It deepens understanding. It helps us see patterns, tensions, and connections across ideas. More importantly, synthesis allows you to construct a cohesive teaching identity, one that is anchored in reflection, informed by theory, and responsive to your context. Through synthesis, you translate insights into concrete actions and pedagogical commitments. To guide this synthesis, the PPT highlights 5 core pillars of critical and intercultural ELT: equity and social justice, cultural humility, dialogic pedagogy, local global connectedness, and critical reflection and praxis, page 5. These are not abstract ideals, they are the heart of a transformative teaching vision. They remind us that English teaching today must strive for fairness, honor diversity, foster dialogue, connect the classroom to the world, and remain grounded in ongoing reflection. Your main task for this module is to write a teaching philosophy statement, a 300 to 400 word narrative where you articulate what you believe about language, culture, power, and your role as an English teacher, page 6. This statement is not merely an academic exercise, it represents your professional identity. What do you think English education is for? Whose stories should be centered? How do your beliefs shape your decisions about materials, tasks, assessment, and classroom interactions? A strong teaching philosophy is personal, theory-informed, and grounded in your lived realities. The PPT provides several reflection prompts, page 7, to guide your writing. Consider: how have your beliefs shifted over the course of this MOOC? What tensions do you face between your ideals and the practical constraints in your school? What does critical and intercultural pedagogy truly mean in your context? And perhaps most importantly, what will you do differently next term? These questions invite honest reflection and help you bridge theory and practice. On page 8, you'll find a sample vision statement that reads: English is not a neutral tool, but a cultural and political force. My role is to nurture empowered communicators who use English to tell their own stories and challenge dominant narratives. This example captures the spirit of our course. Teaching English is about fostering voice, agency, and critical awareness, not merely grammar mastery. For your final portfolio, as outlined on page 9, you will submit a single PDF that includes 4 components. 1. Your teaching philosophy statement. 2. Your revised decolonial lesson plan from Module 6. 3. Your reflection on assessment from Module 7. 4. A summary of peer or community feedback. This portfolio is your capstone. It showcases your growth, your understanding, and your emerging expertise as a critical and intercultural English teacher. The PPT also gives you tips for a powerful vision, page 10. Be personal but grounded in theory. Be specific about what actions you intend to take, What will you implement, when, and how? Do not rely on abstract jargon. Instead, articulate clear commitments that align with your context and your students. To help you prepare your portfolio, page 11 outlines the assessment criteria: clarity and coherence of your vision, integration of course concepts, reflective depth, practicality in your context, and creativity in how you present your ideas. These criteria encourage you to move beyond simply reproducing course content, and instead demonstrate how you have internalized and transformed it. Beyond this course, the PPT encourages you to build a community of practice, to continue sharing drafts, giving and receiving feedback, establishing study groups, and even publishing short practice notes or snapshots of your lessons, page 12. Critical teaching grows when educators support one another. Learning continues when we reflect with others. On page 13, we revisit a foundational concept: praxis, the unity of reflection and action. As you move forward, consider engaging in curriculum redesign projects, community-engaged learning, teacher advocacy networks, or small-scale research and publication. These are powerful ways to sustain your growth as a critical educator. Finally, the closing message on page 14 reminds us: you are not just completing a course, you are reimagining your teaching. Your classroom can be a site of justice, voice, and transformation. Carry this with you. Continue questioning, continue reflecting, and continue walking the critical path. Your work matters, and your voice as a teacher shapes the futures of your learners. Thank you for journeying through this MOOC. I look forward to seeing how your vision evolves, and how you continue contributing to English education that is just, intercultural, and transformative.